This is from Pro Football Focus. 10 best players in the NFL right now, regardless of position. Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Aaron Donald, number 2. Trent Williams, number 3. Travis Kelce, 4. Myles Garrett checks in at 5, ahead of Bosa, Chris Jones, Devontae Adams, Micah Parsons, and Joe Burrow. And about Garrett, they say, with less help around him than any other top edge rusher last season. Garrett led the league in PFF pass rushing grade 93.5, has the best pass rush win rate, 22.5% of any rusher with over 200 reps. And G. Bush, you would think, when you add a Zadarius Smith and an Okunronquo and even a Tomlins, when you put better pieces around him, he's going to get better. It just makes sense.
Yeah. He's going to have, to me, he's going to have a tremendous year. I think that a lot of times, and I've done videos on this on my YouTube channel, and I talk about sometimes how when you're devoid of talent and you're devoid of a quarterback, the quarterback usually takes most of the blame or gets most of the credit. And what you do, we focus on quarterback play so much here that when you don't have a quarterback or you're always constantly looking for one, the best player in your team always seems to get left behind a little bit. He always seems to be nitpicked a little bit. He's always seemed to be judged kind of harshly. And for Myles Garrett, sometimes the fans are on him because they want to see that next level. But if you go around the league, you get outside of Berea, you get outside of Cleveland and Ohio, you start to see very quickly how good Myles Garrett is. You take a look at those scores there. His pass rush grade, his win rush grades, his double teams, just his overall grade. But now couple that with the fact that he's going to have a Zadarius Smith, who, by the way, can rush the passer in his own right, who had a really great year against in Minnesota the first few games of the year. When you take a look at what they're going to be able to do as a tandem, as well as upgrading the defense, and we talked about Oronco too. We haven't even talked about him. They're going to have multiple guys that they can rush and move in there, and sometimes they're going to have a 4 defensive end line where you got Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett in the stand-up technique. Over the guards, and that's a very scary sight for people because of just what they can do athletically at the snap of the football. So I think that coupled with Jim Schwartz, you're going to see Myles Garrett do some stuff that you've been waiting for. And I think literally, and I said this before, I think he has a shot at breaking the sack record this year. And the reason I say that is because, after the car accident, Myles Garrett pretty much played the season injured, the whole entire season. He still had 16 sacks. Still didn't have anybody else on the other side of him because Jadeveon Clowney was a mitigated disaster last year. He had a bunch of young guys, Alex Wright and Isaiah Thomas on the other end. And the D tackles, Taven Bryan and Jordan Elliott or whoever they had in there, weren't moving or doing anything to give him help. So this year with an upgraded line, upgraded coaching, and a system that actually fits him for the first time, I think it should be a thought process that he could possibly break the sack record this year.